How to stop being a people pleaser so you can finally start achieving and working towards your goals and get the things that you want out of life. Welcome to Unscripted. I'm Matthew, and this is where we talk about how to live a happier and healthier life. Let's get right into the video. So a while ago, especially when I was younger growing up, I was the biggest people pleaser probably known to man. I would probably say yes to everything, be there for everybody, and it was just because I wanted to make people happy. I wanted to make people like me, and more importantly, I wanted to feel useful. I wanted to felt like I mattered. And to a certain extent, this is important. You want to be kind to the people you love at least. You want to be there for your family, your friends, and even just, for yourself. Oh yeah, I'm somebody who shows up and I'm reliable to help other people. But at some point, you have to develop a certain amount of selfishness to achieve the things that you have set out for your life, to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself, or else you're just going to live this entire life constantly working for other people, making and being in this loop of making other people happy, when at the end of the day, it's just holding you back from achieving the things that you want and making yourself feel happy. So whether it would be, back in the day, I remember I would always put off my fitness. I would, my friends would be like, hey, you want to come chill? And like at the back of my mind, I was like, I know I should be going to the gym, but I don't want them to be mad at me, and I don't want them to, feel like I don't like them. So I'm going to skip the gym and go hang out with them. Or other days I would be like, oh, I know I should be eating healthy, but my friends are inviting me out to a restaurant or, a fast food. Let's go grab some, fast food, some beers or whatever. I'd be like, yeah, for sure. And like in the back of my mind, I'd be like, oh, well, today I had planned that I was going to, stay at home or at least eat something at home. But I want to have a group of friends. I want to go out and eat with them and enjoy this time. And what did this do to me? All it did was keep me away from my goals that I wanted to. Number one, have a sick physique. Number two, stop being fat. But also, work towards other goals when I should have been, for example, studying, when I should have been building my business, whenever I should have been recording YouTube videos. People would always message me, hey, can you help me with this project? I'd be like, oh, but I gotta do this thing, but I want to be helpful and I want to be there, and I don't want to seem like I'm mean, or I don't want to seem like a jackass. Oh, okay, you know what? I'll put my goals and my ambitions aside just to be there for you. And this will only get you so far. And I realized this quickly and early on in my life. It's like, if I don't start prioritizing my goals, if I don't start prioritizing the things that I want, I'm never going to achieve the things that I want for myself out of this life. And the biggest people pleasers, I realized, are the ones that don't have goals. And the people that, especially when I was younger, I would always say yes to everything because I never had it drilled into my mind what I actually want to achieve. What am I working towards? And I would just say yes to everything. It's because when you don't have specific goals, when you don't have specific things that you're working to, you're just a feather drifting and being pushed in any way that life takes you. It's like, okay, you don't have a goal to, drop, for example, before I had a goal to get to 170 pounds. I didn't have that goal. I would just be like, oh, I'll get there when I get there. It'll eventually happen. If it takes 2 years, if it takes 5 years, if it takes 10 years, it doesn't matter. It's just like something I would hope for, something I would wish, and then they'd be inviting me over. Oh, let's go get McDonald's. Oh, let's order a pizza. Oh, let's do this. And it's like, okay, sure. And then I would go back to sleep and think to myself, why did I do that? This is putting me away from my goals. So how can you stop being a people pleaser? How can you stop being a yes man and start actually working towards the things that you want to achieve in this life? Whether it's a specific degree that you want, right? Whether it's a specific fitness goal that you're working towards, whether it's a specific business goal, whether it's a financial goal, whether it's an investment goal, whether it's a relationship goal, whatever goal that you're working towards, the first thing is to be aware of it, because awareness is what brings up change and different action in our life. So first, make a conscious effort to create a goal for yourself. At least this is what has helped me, because when I had a goal in the back of my head, or more importantly, had it written down somewhere, when somebody would invite me or ask me to do something, it's like, hey, sorry, no, I got different goals. And if you still fuck with me at that point, then you still fuck with me. You like me at that point, great. But I'm prioritizing, this is my life, this is one life that I get to live, and I'm going to prioritize the things that I want to achieve after this life, because it's the same thing with employees versus business owners. There's nothing wrong with both. And I'm not here to bash employees, and I'm not here to bash business owners and entrepreneurs. Everybody has their set things that they want out of life. But think about it. If you're an employee, you're saying yes to somebody else because you didn't want to, set a goal or create something for yourself. So you are saying yes to somebody else's goals and somebody else's dreams and somebody else's visions. And that might not be of interest to you. That's why it doesn't bother you. But you know deep down what bothers you. And what bothered me, more importantly, was, constantly saying yes to going out and eating out. Going out and eating pizzas, eating burgers, going to restaurants, having fast food. And this bothered me so much because I knew I wanted something different. I knew I wanted to achieve a specific body fat percentage. I wanted to reach a certain body weight goal. And anytime I would delay that, or anytime I didn't work to it and say yes to other things, is when it started twisting my mind and it started bothering me. So I was like, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I constantly saying yes? Why am I unable to say no to these specific things? It's because I didn't have it clearly labeled out. I didn't have a specific concrete goal that I wanted to work towards. So anytime something did come up, I was just like a yes man. Oh, hey Matthew, you want to come? We're watching a movie at ours. We're gonna order some pizza, some wings. We're gonna drink some beers. Oh yeah, subconsciously I was thinking, oh wow, these are my friends. Oh, you know what? I want to go spend time with them. Oh, I don't want them to not like me. Yeah, I'm there. But then, I'd come back and sleep on my bed and I was like, again, it's putting me away from my goals because I didn't have a specific goal that I was working towards. So if you don't have a specific goal, your first step should be to identify something you actually want to work towards. Because when you have something you want to work towards, it's easier to say no because you're prioritizing your own happiness first. Remember, it's the same thing with the analogy of filling your cup. You cannot fill somebody else's cup until your cup is filled first. And in a society where we live in of basically, it's weird to talk about because, we live in such a society that's so disconnected, but so connected and selfish versus not selfish. You just have to be selfish with your goals. You have to be selfish with your time, and you have to be selfish with the things that you actually want from this life, or else you're never going to get them, and you're always going to be, in the back of your mind thinking, oh, what if I sacrifice? Because remember, at the end of the day, what's the saying? How does it go? What's the quote? If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, and everybody knows deep down what they want. I wanted to be ripped. I wanted to have a six-pack. I wanted to, look good shirtless. So I had to figure out that's what I wanted and started making the sacrifices to get that. And sure, I had to be, selfish. Oh, I can't drink that. I can't eat that. I don't want to eat that, or I have to go to the gym. And, some people, oh, you're always at the gym, like you can't hang out. Or, oh, you're always, avoiding us when we go drinking. No, it's just, these are my goals. And if you still like me at the end of the day, if you still want to be friends with me, if you still want to hang out with me, despite the goals and ambitions that I have and I'm working towards, cool. Because, I like you regardless of whatever other thing that you're working towards. But if you can't like me for the things that I'm working towards, sorry, then it just means we can't be friends. It just means that we're not meant to be together. Because at the end of the day, here's what happens. We're so scared of, or at least I was, letting people down and saying no to other people because I felt they just wouldn't like me. And, maybe it was, some sort of childhood thing. But when you start setting boundaries for yourself in your life, what I've noticed at least is people start liking you more. People start respecting your boundaries because you're not just like everybody else. You're not a pushover. You're not a yes man. You're not a, sure. It's like, dude, who are you? Like, what kind of standards do you have for yourself? What kind of goals or things are you working towards? Ensure the quantity of friendships that I had before I started pursuing certain, educational goals, business goals, physique goals, relationship goals shrunk. But at the end of the day, the quality became much better. The quality of people I started hanging out with that started respecting me for my goals, my aspirations, my ambitions, and the things I said yes to versus no to became better because they respected me as a person. They respected me for, oh shit, like this guy is serious about his goals. This guy is serious about, achieving what he wants to. And it's very difficult to grasp at first, especially if you come from I'm not saying I was like some Mr. Popular and had millions of friends, but I had a good amount of friends that I could reach out to, talk to, stay in touch with. And now it's just a certain very small, tight circle of people who know what's going on in my life, who know me and who I actually want to, I can count them on, one or two hands, including obviously family. And I'll tell you, more importantly, the quality of those relationships has drastically increased. Because I think when we're younger, we're chasing quantity. But as you get older, you realize you cannot have quality or quantity in relationships. At least if you have some specific goals worth pursuing. But what becomes better is the quantity or the quality of relationships that you do have. And the more you start respecting yourself, the more you start saying no to other people, the more that you actually start working towards goals and making sacrifices, the quality of those few relationships that you will have is going to skyrocket. It's going to go from surface level to deep bonds. It's going to go from a, hey, how's your day? To, hey, I'm struggling with this. I need some advice. And that's the level that you want to be at, but you can only get to that level after prioritizing yourself, being selfish with your own time, and making sure that the goals that you have aren't being pushed and pushed back by other people's distractions. And you can see this with a lot of people if you just simply look around. majority of you will not get to your goals because you are afraid of hurting other people's feelings and are extremely worried about what they're going to think about you. Stop giving a fuck what other people think about you and start giving more fucks about what you think about yourself. Because your self-esteem, your self-image, and your own dialogue about yourself is more important and will always trump what other people's dialogue, opinions, and facts are about you. Because you have two people. Tell me which one do you think is a happier individual? The person A says yes to everybody, wants to make everybody happy, is always invited to all these events, and, is like this, Mr. Popular. But then he comes back, he looks at himself in the mirror, he's unhappy with the way he looks, he's unhappy with his relationship with his partner because he just settled for anybody and somebody because he was scared of being alone, and is unhappy with the job that he does and the work that he does because he was too afraid to push his friends aside and say, no, I gotta focus in on this business, or I gotta focus in on my studies and actually get some sort of job, career, or build some sort of business that he wanted. Oh, but he has so many friends. Oh, everybody likes him and thinks positive things about him. They have nothing bad to say about him. Or person B, who has, 3 to 5 people he only hangs out with, who have great things to say about him because they know him at a deep level. 15 to 20 other people are constantly talking shit about him. Oh, he has such a high ego, he's arrogant. Oh, he's so selfish. But person B has a sick physique. He looks in the mirror and he's super proud of the progress he's made, how far he's come. He's got a couple people who love and deeply respect him. And more importantly, he lives a life that he wakes up to every day and is happy with. Who do you think is winning at the end? Because person B is living a life of quality, but person A is living a life of quantity. Oh, he has so much friends, so many connections, so many things to do. But person B is just focused on a couple of things. But person A is unhappy with their life, even though from the outside it looks like they're doing amazing. But person B is extremely happy with their life, with their relationships, with their finance, with their physique, with their relationship with God. But from the outside, it looks like it's super boring. And you can only pick one or the other. You can't have two, my friend. I'm sorry. It's just not the way that it works. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is, if you're somebody struggling that, has grown up and been like a yes man his whole life, and you want to get out of this, but you just don't know how. I'm telling you, I was that exact same person, and this is exactly how I got it. I got specific on what it was that I wanted for my life. In all aspects, in all pillars. Financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. I'm pretty sure I said that twice, but why not? I got specific on what it was that I wanted and made goals for each one of those pillars. I want to have a six-pack. I want to be a millionaire. I want to have my own business. I want to have an unshakable mindset. I want to have, one woman who loves and cares about me. I want to, have an amazing relationship with my parents. I want to have 3 to 5 best friends. I want to have a great relationship with all my family members. And then everything else if it didn't revolve around those things, was just nonsense and wasted time for me. I didn't care about the parties that I didn't get invited to. I didn't care about, you know, the drinking that I missed out on. I didn't care about the invitations that I missed out on. I didn't care about the concerts that I missed. I didn't care about, you know, just all the other bullshit that just didn't matter to me or wasn't going to lift up any of those other pillars in my life. Because I knew that if I said yes to anything outside of that, I was just saying no to anything that was inside of this that was actually the things that I wanted to pursue. So get very specific on what it is that you want, because if you don't have goals, you're just going to say yes to everything else. The people that have the ability to say no to other things are only able to say no without any care or worry because they have other things that they're focused on, other goals that you don't need to explain your goals. You don't need to explain your visions. You don't need to explain your dreams to anybody else. I always thought when I first started writing down goals and visions and dreams that I had to myself, oh, I had to make sure that everybody understands what I'm doing because, you know, if I was to say no to somebody, that I would want them to understand why I'm saying no to them. Oh, it's because I'm pursuing this goal. Like, come on, please work with me, you know, have some sympathy, understand where I'm coming from. Now, fuck them. Who cares? Your job is not to have people understand you. Your job is to create a life where you wake up every single day and enjoy it. Where you are excited to go to bed just to wake up. I am so excited to go to bed every single night just to be able to wake up and do the things that I have set forth. Why? Because I only do things that I like doing. I only spend time with the people that I want to spend time with. I only say yes to the things I want to say yes to. And I'm not saying like, you know, you have to be this super isolated guy. Trust me, I still have fun with my friends. I still have fun with my family members. I still, you know, go out to restaurants and enjoy good food with them. But it's when I want to. It's when it fits into my schedule, it fits into my goals. And sure, obviously there's different things that you have to like, you know, plan around for other people's lives too that are important for you. But that's just it. Have goals. Plan out a life that you get excited to wake up to and work towards every single day. And then you will have no problems and no issues saying no to time wasters. Saying no to the things that aren't going to bring value. Like now some of the things that bring me the most value is just sitting and hanging out with the people and absolutely having no plans. Just sit, talk, and chat the shit. Because I value those simple, small relationships over having 1 million of them. So, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're new here, subscribe. And I'm going to leave you like I always do. Create more than you consume, serve others. Love everyone. Subscribe if you're new. Share this video with somebody else if you found it insightful. If not, great. I'll never see you again. But yeah, create goals and don't worry about hurting people's feelings, because at the end of the day, if their feelings are hurt, it means, or if they have other opinions and thoughts about you after you think that you're hurting them, they weren't they weren't meant to be in your life regardless. I gotta say one more thing. If somebody gets offended for you not wanting to hang out, or makes fun of you for not wanting to drink, or has some sort of opinion about you because you're not always available or can't do this thing for them, they are not a true friend towards you, or they are not meant to be in your life. Because the people who love you for who you are will be happy that you are prioritizing your goals, that you are prioritizing your happiness. Because when you prioritize your happiness, it radiates to others. So don't worry about hurting other people's feelings, because usually the people's feelings that you are hurting, if you are hurting them through prioritizing and being selfish, are not the people worth keeping in your life. Love you.